guys, my name is Savannah and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be going over five things that I wish I knew before I had a C-section. If you happen to watch my birth story, or even if not, I had an emergency C-section 2 years ago almost, and with my first daughter. I am currently pregnant with my second daughter, and so I wanted to make this video short, concise. I like lists of 5, and maybe that'll be a running theme for my videos. I just feel like 5 things are relatively easy to remember, and also it'll help my videos not be super long, because as a mom I love 15-20 minute videos, but most of the time they are only half watched because that's all I have time for before it's mom duty. So with that being said, let's jump right in to the 5 things that I wish I knew. I have it written down right here, so that's why I'm kind of referencing my notes. So the first thing sounds kind of funny, but the first thing I wish I knew was anything. I had it in my head that I was going to be having a natural, unmedicated vaginal delivery, and I ended up having an emergency C-section. I did very little to no research at all in preparing, and even in my birth plan, which I plan to do a video on that, I had a section about if I was to potentially need a C-section, but even then it was not referencing an emergency situation. It was referencing like if I wasn't progressing fast enough. So I went into my birthing experience with zero knowledge, zero information. So I strongly suggest, regardless of what kind of birth you're planning on having, to research all possibilities. So that way you don't end up that there's a reason why I have these 5 things that I wish I knew, and it's because I was not prepared. Number 2, TMI, but constipation. Hello, nobody told me that constipation would literally be worse than the surgery. Like, I can't even tell you how horrible it was for me. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but it was pretty terrible. So that's the second thing that I wish that I knew, was that constipation is a real issue, not just with any type of labor. It can potentially be an issue with any type of labor that you have, but specifically with C-sections. And I was given stool softeners in the hospital, but I did not carry that on once I got home. And so yeah, if you have a C-section, take it from me, take your stool softeners, take a I would even recommend taking a talk to your doctor, but a laxative, just something that's going to make things as easy as possible for you. Number 3, you still bleed vaginally even if you have a C-section. Obviously probably not as much as somebody who's had a vaginal delivery, but I had to wear Depends and pads for quite a while after I had my daughter via C-section. And so thankfully I was prepared for a vaginal delivery, so I had all of the things that I needed. But if you're planning on having a C-section and you don't have those necessities, be sure to get those things. Number 4, belly binding. This is a huge thing. There's all kinds of, now I'm not talking about corsets, I'm talking about belly binding that helps after you've had a baby, whether it was vaginally, C-section. It helps just support the abdomen, and I was so afraid after I had my daughter that it was just going to hurt super, super bad to be compressed. And to be honest, I really wish that I would have worn some type of belly support as like immediately. If I could go back and do something different, I would definitely do that different, because I feel like my recovery would have been much better, my healing, I just feel like I would have been much more supported. There's so many benefits to it with whether you have a vaginal delivery, but especially for C-sections, because you just had major surgery and you need all the support you can get in that area. And last but not least, number 5 is I wish that I knew that after you have a C-section, most women will experience numbness or hypersensitivity. So either you don't really feel anything around your C-section scar, or it can be extremely hypersensitive. And more than just knowing about that, I wish that I had more tools to be able to, because I have numbness. I'm almost 2 years postpartum with my first, and I still have a lot of numbness. And even though it's not too late to get sensation back into that area, there's a lot of sensory things you can do. I wish I had that knowledge beforehand, because I didn't really start learning about it until I was a few months postpartum, because we just had a new baby. And really, I feel like it's just so important. And that's the reason why I'm making this video, is that it's just so important that you are as prepared as possible before you go into this situation. And I thought that I genuinely did, and I was pretty prepared in most areas, but even the things that you think could possibly never happen, still research those, look into those. These are the things that I wish that I knew, because it would have made my postpartum much easier. And I hope that this helps you out, whether you're having a scheduled C-section. If you end up, I hope you don't, but if you ended up like me and need a emergency C-section, hopefully these tips will help you out. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching.